Welcome to the JP Morgan Asset Management Round the Island Race for 2012 and the Raymarine Course Overview. Hopefully you've already checked out the weather and tide briefings. If not, be sure you go and have a look at those after this. But here we're going to talk about the potential hazards and exclusion zones that are going to affect your race on Saturday. So first of all, the start. There's going to be a lot of boats waiting to start the race, and also there's still going to be ferries and other shipping around in the Solent. In order to make it all a little easier, there are two waiting areas. There's the north waiting area, which is essentially bounded by Thorn Knoll, Bramble Beacon and South Bramble. There's also the south waiting area. This is bounded by Prince's Consort, Seafarer's Ale and Snowdon. Where possible, if you can wait in the north or south waiting area before your warning signal, that will allow other starters to get a clean start and will keep people generally out of the way. As we head west, the first hazard we're really going to get to is the needles. If you're thinking of cutting the corner, make sure you've had a good look at the chart. And also it's probably a good opportunity to make sure someone is looking at your chart plotter as you go round this corner. If you are thinking of cutting the corner at the needles, to the west-southwest of the lighthouse there is the wreck, and also to the west-northwest there is Goose Rock. So make sure you don't become unstuck by these. Once past the needles and heading round the south of the island, we can essentially go back to just focusing on the wind and tide until we get towards Bembridge Ledge. By this point you could well be a little bit sun-frazzled and tired, but don't forget that as you begin to start tacking up that shoreline towards the finish, there is the sea view exclusion zone. Essentially, if you keep pier head and line post on port and don't be tempted to dip inside of them, you should avoid that quite easily. Once you've gone past the sea view exclusion zone, you'll be looking to go back inshore to get out of the tide. However, as you carry on along that shoreline, you'll then be approaching the next hazard, Ryde Sands, which if you take the time to look at the weather briefing, you'll see exactly how big a feature this could be. So make sure you're looking at your chart plotter and that you know exactly where that shallow water is, because it could ruin your race being stuck on the sandbank. Once you've got past Ryde Sands, the next decision is the finish line. There are two finishes, the north and south finish. Make sure you know which one is your finish line, because they're both right next to each other, and the last thing you want is a problem at the end as you're trying to cross paths to work out which line to go through. Thanks for watching the Raymarine Course Overview. Join me tomorrow at the Island Sailing Club for the live weather briefing at 6 o'clock. In the meantime, go to raymarine.co.uk and sign up for the text and email updates. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook.